I like that shirt. It's so cute. Where'd you get it?
I got it in San Marcos at an outfitter. It was really comfortable. It's soft cotton too, and it's really lightweight, so I can wear it outside in the 100-degree heat and not die from it.
It looks like when you wash a shirt 1,000 times and you get it from the vintage store and it's that thin, nice, soft cotton, how they used to make t-shirts. I have like a couple of them and it looks like that, but that's new.
So I bought a Grateful Dead t-shirt from from a vintage store in Austin, and she's like, this was one of their like original t-shirts. It's been around for like 30 years and this is whatever. So I paid an ungodly amount of money for it. And at the time I think I maybe knew like 2 Grateful Dead songs, so it was probably money not well spent. But no joke, this t-shirt has like lived with multiple people and it's 30 years old, and I have it and I wash it a couple of times and it just like my nipple hangs out of part of it. Jacob's like, your belly button's out. Can you not wear that shirt to dinner? I was like, oh, okay.
Do you think that people really did own it? Do you believe her? Yes, you do. she
No,
she could have pulled that story straight out of her butt.
she could, but I also bought a lot of other vintage stuff, and she like thoughtfully curates everything, and I think she knows what she's doing. I don't. But with that said, paying now because I'm poor as shit, I would not pay over $100 for a t-shirt.
Thank you, COVID.
Lessons that I've learned a little too late. I probably could have had a house by now.
Well, it's because like you don't expect like a pandemic to happen. Well, also we're old enough to be saving. Okay, let's be real. Like we should have a good savings account by now. But you don't know a pandemic's coming when you're gonna be like, oh shit, I'm out of work since March.
I had to dig into my savings account for the first time yesterday. My overdraft kicked in and I was like, oh my God. I know it's what a savings account is for, but at the same time, I'm one of those people that I get a high off of like, look how much I saved, or ooh, look how big my savings account is. So when I have to dig into it, I feel really defeated, and
Yeah.
I feel sad because I watch it dwindle a lot quicker than it built up.
Yes, I feel the same way. Back to the t-shirts though, I have this one t-shirt that's like see-through. It's so thin, but it looks so good. And it's a Niagara Falls t-shirt, and it's like blue and it says Niagara on the top, and then it has the falls. And one of my clients, one of my clients that I used to have, her husband would just like would like hoard t-shirts, and she was always trying to get him to like upgrade his wardrobe and like change it up. And so finally she was like, well, I'm getting rid of all this stuff. And I was like, well, like, what do you have? And she's like, we have all these cool old t-shirts, but she's like, as much as I want to hang on to him, she's like, I want him to get rid of this stuff. And he's finally committed to doing it. So one time she did a whole overhaul, and she brought me a whole stack of vintage t-shirts.
I would be so sad if Jacob made me give my shirts away.
Well, I mean, they're like in their late 40s, and he didn't wear them anymore. He had them in the back of the closet, so it's not like he was wearing them like he was cool, you know. It was like he had them and he was attached to them. He didn't want to get rid of them. And she was like, yeah. I'm not gonna save it for my kid, because her kid didn't wear stuff like that. So anyways, I took full advantage of it. What?
So you got all of them?
So I took full advantage of it. She brought me like 2 stacks, 2 different times. And some of them were like really big, so I couldn't keep them. I cut some of them into like boxy crop tops, but some of them I kept regular. But
that's
yeah.
what this is. This is boxy crop top.
It is? Let me see. Oh, yeah. Whoa, cutie. Hey.
And I flash the camera as I sit.
I had to wear this shirt today because I'm leaking, and everything I kept putting on had a big old spot on it. So I just put this on. That way it's a bunch of different.
Your boobs look like an optical illusion. What is going on? They're huge. They're huge.
I know.
turkey.
This is them emptied. Well, not empty, but you know what I mean. Used and abused.
Oh, speaking of used and abused, mine look like flat pancakes. They're so depressing.
But when did you stop breastfeeding?
9 months, so almost 4 months of not, no, 3 months of not doing it.
But you exclusively breastfed, or you?
No, I couldn't keep up. He ate so much, so I did formula and breastfeeding.
When did you incorporate the formula?
Well, he lost weight right away after the hospital. He lost a full pound, which was more than I think they can lose. They lose like a percentage of their body weight when they come home from the hospital. And he wasn't gaining the weight back with just breast milk. So the doctor told us we had to implement formula. And then because we implemented it for a couple of days, my boobs never they didn't get used to the pumping. And so I don't know. I don't really know.
You incorporated it right away. Yeah, I've been wondering because
after the hospital, our very first day home, we had a doctor's appointment, and he was like, "Hey, starting like right now, you've got to get him formula because I just produced colostrum for the first couple of days, and that just wasn't cutting it."
Yeah, that's totally normal. From all the lactation nurses and consultants I talked to in the first few days after Steely, they were like, don't let anyone tell you that it's not normal or that your baby's not getting enough because they're getting plenty, and some people don't even get their milk until like 5 days later, and they just have colostrum, and it's way more dense than regular milk. But anyways, I've been wondering because Steely is, I don't know how many weeks now, like 6 weeks tomorrow, something like that. And he's already eating 7 ounces, which is, yes, that's so much. And I think what he's nursing on me is probably closer to like 6 ounces because he'll get too tired because he gets like, snuggly. So I think it's more closer to like 5 or 6 ounces. But when he takes a bottle, he'll take easily 7 ounces. Wow. And it's 7 ounces of my breast milk. But I'm like, I don't know if my boobs, I mean, they're keeping up right now. But I'm like, it doesn't feel like they're going to keep up much longer. If he keeps going on, like, when do they plateau?
He's using out the supply early on in the game.
He's maxing it out.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So anyways, that's fun. What else should we talk about?
We could talk about the fact that we now have plans to see each other for the first time in since you gave birth, since before you gave birth.
Yeah. So I hadn't seen you for a couple of months or so, and then you guys came over and dropped off some baby stuff briefly. I mean, that was only for like an hour, right?
It was an hour, yeah, because it was like mask on. You guys had people working on the house. You had like 7 people working on your house.
Yeah.
But only one of them was to be here.
Yes, we had someone fixing our gas line or something.
They went to Home Depot and had their little bro date.
Yeah, the guys went to Home Depot, had their bro date. We hung out. But yeah, that was the last time we saw each other. Excuse me. And then we hadn't seen each other. We had until Jacob's birthday.
Oh, I forgot you guys came to that.
Yes, but we were planned on social distancing, and then we gave in once we got there, and that you guys were the only people that we hadn't social distanced with without masks. And not that we were super close or anything, but I did hold Levi because I just couldn't help it, and I was still pregnant then. I was about to pop.
Oh my God. And Jacob's dad's friend was like, hey, are you going to give birth to that baby here today? And you're like, God, I hope not. I really hope not.
That would be the worst. So yes, now we have a date.
Yeah, we scheduled a date for a half a month in advance. And I find that to be extremely depressing because before we saw each other, like before both of us had babies, we hung out with each other at least once a day.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in my house, we cuddled.
Yes, we did.
And now I have to like pencil you in.
You showered at my house.
Did,
You
yeah.
know, we lounged, we ate together, we ate our meals together.
Oh my God. And speaking of which, before we hang up today, I've got to remember that trail mix that you had? It was, it's like little yogurt balls and, I don't know. You used to always keep it in your pantry though, and I need it for this weekend because I'm going to send everyone home with trail mix pouches. Trail mix
Oh,
pouches.
I used to make it myself, so I would just put stuff together. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always random for whatever I was craving, but
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about
you know what I like in my trail mix the most though?
it. Raisins.
No, I like macadamia nuts, pistachios, almonds, and then if you want to add any chocolate covered or yogurt covered anything in there. Those are the nuts that I like together. Those are high end nuts.
I know they are, but that's like expensive trail mix. I'm not trying to give people some high dollar trail mix. I'm like, here's a pretzel.
you give them like you give them like a tiny doggy bag of it. It's like 4 nuts. You get one of each nut.
Expensive, especially if you buy them in bulk, which is like the only way you can buy them out here. And I don't know.